Welcome, everybody. Back again here, broadcasting the greatest league on iRacing, the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues. This is the national tour. We're going short track racing tonight here at Lucas Oil. First off, though, I've got my good friend here, Jay. Jay, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Ready to do some short track racing, cap off just an insane week of racing here in the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues. We saw some great races all week long. We're going to cap it off with a little short track racing in the national tour.
Absolutely. Yes, we are tonight. We got some of the best drivers in the business coming around this racetrack trying to get that trophy. Trying to be the first one across the start-finish line at the end of lap 125. We'll go into some real quick track info here. The Summer Nights 125 here at Lucas Oil Raceway. It's a track length of 0.67 miles, 70 degrees track temp, 860 feet above sea level. 68 degrees ambient, 76% humidity. Got cloudy skies tonight with a 3-mile-an-hour wind. Again, some of the best late model open setup racing you can find on iRacing at the moment with the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues. This track is located in Brownsburg, Indiana. 12 degrees of banking in the corners, one quick repair, one set of tires, pace car speed is 45, and pit speed limit is 35. We are just now wrapping up practice, though. Real quick, Jay, what are your predictions for tonight? Who do you got to win?
Oh, man, we got a good, strong field of competitors here tonight. Best iRacers in the business. We got Rob Collier won the season opener 2 weekends ago, I believe it was, 2 Thursdays ago. I look for him to be a strong competitor. I'm also looking at maybe Brad Haldane finish P2. I think that's what I'm going to take tonight. I think I'm going to take Brad Haldane. I think he gets the job done here tonight and takes the race number 2 of this season.
That's a good choice, absolutely. I'm going to go with the hometown favorite tonight, old Timmy T. Timmy T, always fast when you come to these short track races. Has lots of championships under his belt when it comes to short track series. Expect that 74 to be out front tonight. We are going into qualifying right now. We're about to see who is going to take pole tonight. We've got 10 minutes of action coming straight to you guys. Rob Collier going to be the first one to take the track here. 34 seconds into qualifying. The O2 very fast in this short track series as well. Definitely a contender every week. Let's see what he can do in his quest to get the pole tonight. Running that high line through 1 and 2. Let's see what he does through 3 and 4. Same thing there. Maybe trying to build a little bit of momentum or speed down the straightaways. That first lap pulls a 22.3. Zach Bates pulls a 22.8. Sean Harrell, 23 flat. Steven Doughton goes out, pulls a 22.9. Here comes Rob Collier coming off of 4 now. With a 23, he does not improve. Tim Trowbridge now coming across the line to start his qualifying run. Brad Haldane coming off of turn 2 now. Let's see what Brad can do coming through 3 and 4 now. Steven Doughton puts himself back up into P3 with the 22.6. Brad Haldane, though, crossing the start-finish line now. See what he can do. A P3 with a 22.5. Tim Trowbridge goes P1 with a 22.2. Hauling the mail in that thing. Let's see what he can do coming across the start-finish line now. Rob Collier reclaims the pole position at the moment. Tim Trowbridge takes it right back with a 22-1.
Wow, putting down some flyers, playing a little bit of leapfrog for the top position here tonight in qualifying.
That high lane seems very fast. Let's see what Tim can do coming off of turn 4 here. Almost making contact with the wall right there. Looks like he's done with his qualifying run. Last lap, he did not improve. Still a best lap time of a 22.105. Brad Haldane coming around for the last time. Let's see if he can improve. And he doesn't. Brad Haldane down there in P4 at the moment. Still a great qualifying run. Look at this, though. Matt Yost, a P3 run.
Yeah, he was hard charging 2 weeks ago at Myrtle Beach and that season opener in the National Tour. Maybe ran out of laps there at the end of the race to kind of challenge Collier and Haldane. See if he can carry that momentum off here tonight. Already up to a P3 qualifying position with 2 guys yet to take time. Daniel Diorio and Tim Henderson.
What a great run Daniel Diorio had last night in the Gen 6 League. Phenomenal run by that guy.
What a race we saw last night. I mean, that race at Talladega was just phenomenal.
Absolutely it was. And we really can't expect anything less with these leagues here, Jay. Nexus puts on some great races, some of the best drivers in the business. Hey, look, we got Richard in the chat. LFG, yes, sir. We are ready to go. Start this broadcast. We are ready to watch some awesome racing here tonight around Lucas Oil Raceway.
Well, we're halfway through the qualifying session. We still have Diorio and Henderson not taking the time. Maybe waiting for the last possible minute to put a time up on the board.
Last night was rough for the 19. It sure was. Zach Bates tried real hard to get back on the lead lap all night long. Got caught up in almost all of the wrecks there. And it was just one of those races for the 19.
Yeah, that was one of those races for the ages in the Nexus Sim Racing Wednesday Motor City Cup Series. I mean, we saw so much drama, so much 3-wide racing, multiple lanes of racing all night long, crazy wrecks, exciting finish. Nothing less than you expect in the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues.
And the winner of last night currently P2 right now. Looking again to run up front, contend for a win. Can we expect anything less out of Showtime, though?
No, he's always up front. He's always putting on a show. Old Showtime. He's kicked off this season, though, with wins in Motor City Cup as well as the National Tour. So he is on a roll to start this Season 2 in the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues.
All right, Jay. So 125 laps around Lucas Oil. That's a pretty long race here regarding the size of this track. Can we expect some drivers to come down pit road and use that lap 30, lap 40 strategy and stay out the rest of the time for some track position, especially noting how strong that top lane is?
No, I think it's all depending purely if we get a caution early in this race. I mean, last week we saw a flag to flag race at Myrtle Beach. This is a track we didn't race on last season. This is kind of a new obstacle for these drivers to tackle this Lucas Oil Raceway. I think the strategy could be anywhere tonight. We could see late pit strategies. We've seen that be an alternate option. We could see a flag to flag race again and track position be important. So
lots of variables.
I don't know.
Lots of variables. All right, well, we hit the warm-up now. Congratulations to Tim Trowbridge. Let's go ahead and bring him down. Talk to him about it. Hey, Tim Trowbridge, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Sir, congratulations on your pole win tonight. What did you have to do to that car? You put a little meth in it?
That's a company secret. We cannot disclose. No, just I love this track. Learned a lot of it in like the trucks. Just very, very similar kind of driving styles of trucks. A lot of high commitment, especially into one. You got to really commit to it, and just kind of went out there and decided to send it and see if she'd stick, and she stuck.
Tim, explain to us a little bit how much stronger that top line is than running the bottom of the racetrack through the corners.
It's very strong, actually, because you can really carry the momentum. The bottom, you can make some good runs on the bottom, but you're going to track out anyways. Just it's the natural tendency on the corner exit is it's going to want to go to the high side. So once you run the bottom, unless you can really commit and you're going to probably throw a slide job, the top side, just you carry all the momentum.
So maybe, or a possibility of a lot of slide jobs happening tonight, straight from your pole winner. He said it, not me. Congratulations, Tim, on your pole. Jay, you got anything for Tim?
I just want to say congratulations on your pole and good luck tonight. Let's see if we catch you at the end of the race in a post-race interview at the top step of the podium.
Perfect. Sounds good, guys. Enjoy the show.
Thanks. All right, your pole winner, Tim Trowbridge, as he goes for a spin there. Right into Matt Yost. You know, that just seems to be Matt Yost's luck right there. Whether it be in practice, warm-up, qualifying, race. The race is pretty good. Qualified real good tonight. But what's the over-under for the lap to see Matt Yost get junked? I'm just kidding.
I'm not going to say
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Don't want to jinx Matt Yost. Every time, last night he led multiple times early and late in that race, and every time we mentioned him, it just seemed like the announcer's jinx caught up to him. So hopefully he has a clean race in the top 3 and doesn't have to worry about us talking about him too much tonight, and I think he'll come home with a pretty good finish.
Absolutely.
One thing I'm really interested at, though, is are these inside... Trowbridge mentioned we're going to be having to be committed to stay to the bottom because the outside is going to carry all the momentum. Are we going to see a little bit of strategy or some restart games being played? Are you going to try and... Because if you start in the lead, you're going to have to restart on the bottom. Are you going to try and send it in on the bottom, pull a big slider in front of the guy in front of you, and maybe make it try to work that way? Is the outside going to be dominant on these restarts? I mean, we're in store for quite an obstacle for these drivers tonight.
Absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see what Tim does at the start of this race because he will be restarting on the inside lane. Tim does have an extremely fast car, but it's going to be interesting to see what Tim can do on the start of the race. Try and hold off Rob Collier, who's on the outside. Rob Collier also very strong, but Tim also does have his teammate behind him in P3. Maybe a little bit of workings going on there, or maybe trying to help each other out to get ahead of Rob Collier.
As we're winding this warm-up session down here now, got about 20 seconds to go till we get gridded up. Last minute adjustments better have been made because we've got 125 laps on deck tonight here in the National Tour. Tim Trowbridge will be leading the field to green. I am excited. I'm so excited. I love this series, late model racing. This is some good stuff.
Sure is. We are wrapping up warm-up now. We're going to be seeing these cars grid for the race. Tim Trowbridge almost, he's trying to do the hat trick here. He's got practice, qualifying, and warm-up. Let's see if Tim can hold out tonight. As we pull up our grid here, your pole winner tonight, Tim Trowbridge in the number 74 car, starting P1 with Rob Collier on the outside of him in the 02 starting P2.
Old Matty Yost in the number 70 starting P3 with Bad Brad Haldane starting 4th in that number 39.
Starting P5 tonight is Zach Bates in the number 19 car with Steven Downton on the outside of him in the 09 starting P6.
Your pilot of the number 6 car, George Oaks starting P7 with Sean Harrell in the number 72 starting P8.
Patrick Jabronsky starting P9 in the number 23 car with Tim Henderson on the outside of him in the 20 car starting P10.
Rounding out your field, Daniel DiOrio in the number 78.
All right, Jay. These guys are gridded up, ready to go. Oh, excuse me. Brad Haldane is 4th. Matt Yost is P3. So we've got the 74 and the 39 are teammates, and the 02 and the 70 are teammates. Interesting.
A little bit of Zip Tie v Imperial Motorsports up here on the front 2 rows. We also got G-Force Racing and 83 Racing as well in the field. So multiple teams, teammates maybe come into play, cut each other a little bit of break on these restarts. Have to find out.
Absolutely. These guys are going to be stacking up. We're going to be going one more time around with these guys. Then we'll be seeing some green flag racing. We'll see how aggressive it could be. The last race we ran here, not here in this series though, we went flag to flag. Is that a possibility tonight, Jay?
I think it's 100% possibility. These are the best iRacers in business. They don't make a lot of mistakes. So I think this track position early, getting a great initial start, and then running your pace.
Absolutely. Well, Tim is going to be leading this field to green. He can almost set the pace at the beginning. We'll see how aggressive these guys get at the start of this race. I don't know. How aggressive do you need to be, Jay?
I think you got to be aggressive enough on this restart, but then when the race starts, you got to save them tires for the end. It's a long one.
Absolutely. The pace car is off the racing surface. We're going to go green flag racing here. Tim Trowbridge coming through 3 and 4 now. Again, Rob Collier on the outside of him in the preferred lane. Let's see what the 74 car can do. Going into turn 1 and off the exit of 2. We're green flag here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Tim Trowbridge doesn't get the start that he probably would have liked over Rob Collier, but it looks like he's going to clear him off of turn 2. He does. Tim Trowbridge holding on to the lead of this race. Going down the back straightaway now.
Oh, it looked like Brad Haldane might have grabbed a little bit of wall off at 2. He's settled into P3. Your top 3 are single filed out. Matt Yost and Zach Bates going side by side here off of turn 4. We're going to complete lap 1 as Trowbridge continues to lead.
Side-by-side racing between the 19 and the 70. Oh, the 19 got real close to the wall there. He saves it, though. No contact made. Matt Yost finding himself back down in P5 at the moment. Zach Bates holding on to that P4 position. We do have a side-by-side battle here with Sean Harrell and Tim Henderson in the back. These guys duking it out for P7. Tim Henderson, he's going to take that position away from the 72, and we're single file at the moment.
Yeah, as now these guys have gotten through this restart, now they're going to get into their race pace. As we see Brad Haldane running right behind Rob Collier. Everybody cycled up to the top of the track. That's the preferred line, right up against the wall, and carry that momentum as Brad Haldane is going to try and run a lane down from Collier, maybe commit to that bottom line like we heard Trowbridge talking about earlier.
Brad Haldane almost seeming like he can make that bottom lane work. He's doing real well on it. I wonder what that type of tire wear he's going to have. Doing that, though, he might be able to save a little bit by going to the top side, but he's trying to get around this 02 car. Matt Yost continues to drop back here as Steven Down goes too wide with Tim Henderson. Tim Henderson is on a charge to get back to the front as he's now still side by side with Steven Down coming off of turn 2.
Yeah, it's real tight there. Steven Doughton is going to try to stay to the inside. He's going to carry this run that he had going into the corner, but it's real hard to rotate the center right there in the corner. He's going to get a little tight. He's going to lose that position. He's going to fill that line on the outside behind Tim Henderson, right in front of Sean Harrell. As Tim Henderson, as you said, he is on the charge as he's hounding Matt Yost right now down the back.
Matt Yost holding on to that position very well at the moment. Tim Henderson trying to find a way around him as he goes all the way to the bottom. Here comes Steven Down on the outside, though. That surprised Tim Henderson. He didn't think he could go there. Tim Henderson loses a position to Steven Downton. The 20 car still rolling the bottom side as he tries to get himself back up to the top lane to go back and compete with the 70 and the 09. Going into turn 3 now, he does take the high lane. He knows what he's real high, maybe into the marbles, but he saves it off of turn 4 now. Tim Henderson still in P7.
Steven Doughton right there was looking to peek to the inside of Matt Yost. Does not do it. He's going to stay to the outside, continue to use that momentum. Tim Henderson's fighting back, closes right to the rear bumper of Steven Doughton. He's going to take it way up to the outside. He's higher up the track than anybody else right now, trying to use up every bit of real estate he has available to him. As now Steven Doughton is still hounding Matt Yost up here for that P5 position.
Steven Downton really fast right now, running very comparable lap times. He might be a little bit slower too. Matt Yost might be a little bit slower than Downton here, as he's holding him up just a little bit, possibly coming off of turn 4 now. He does get the run coming down the front straightaway. Patrick Jablonski, you saw in the back there, grabs a little bit of wall as he's side by side with the 6 car of George Oaks. These guys continue to duke it out. Go back up to the front here where Steven Downton still trying to pass the number 70 car.
Yeah, these are going to be hard passes to make. Everybody running that outside line. All these cars so close in speed, just trying to find maybe that extra tenth that the other guy around you doesn't have to get clear of this group. As now Steven Downton is going real wide. He's using that Tim Henderson line through these turns. He's going to draw real close to the bumper of Matt Yost. Matt Yost is going to defend that, just leaving himself just enough room to the outside where they can't get to the outside of him while carrying the momentum through the center of the turn.
Maybe a little bit of side-by-side action. No, Steven Downton. No, he does. Going into turn 1, he dives it real deep. Side-by-side with the 70 car. The 09 trying to make something happen, and it doesn't. The 09's going to lose a lot of speed going down the back straightaway. Tim's going to make a move. Going into turn 3 now. He goes real deep. Steven Downton almost making contact with the wall. He had to lift, but he's going to come back on the outside. Side-by-side racing with Steven Downton and Tim Henderson. Tim Henderson, the loser.
Wow, that got tight, and now with Tim Henderson on the bottom, he left the door wide open for Sean Harrell on the outside. Here comes that fast 72 car, making it happen up here on the outside. Tim Henderson's going to have to find something here if he's going to pull a little slider to get in front of him. He's not going to be able to, as the 72 is still to his outside down the front.
This is a great battle here. Tim Henderson being able to compete with a car to the outside of him as he's running the inside, the non-preferred lane, and he is still there. Ooh, Steven Down going all the way down to the apron on the back straightaway now. Looks like he's going to continue to keep that position. Maybe a little bit of a squirrely situation. Tim Henderson, Sean Harrell still duking it out now going into turn 1.
Yeah, these 6 cars are under a blanket, all real even in pace right now. As now Sean Harrell still to the outside of Henderson. Henderson's going to clear him here off of 2. That's exactly what he needed. He needed to get back to that outside line. That's the preferred line. As he's going to continue to roll his momentum as you see Steven Downton in front of him, trying to find another line to work, trying to commit to the bottom as he's losing time here to Matt Yost.
Matt Yost's car maybe picking up a little bit now on lap 16 at the moment of 125. We'll go back up to the front real quick here. Tim has pulled that gap to 1.2 seconds over Rob Collier. Rob Collier still has Brad Haldane behind him in P3, and Zach Bates showing a really strong showing tonight here at Lucas Oil Raceway in a P4 position, that number 19 car.
Yeah, he's got the competition in front of him, keeping that gap even as now Matt Yost His car is coming alive right now. He is gapping Steven Dowden as well as Tim Henderson. Actually, Steven Dowden has fallen to the back of this pack. What happened to Steven is he's way behind everybody now. Into the tail end of this field. Must have had an issue or got sideways and lost a lot of time to the guys he was battling with.
Let's go back and look real quick to see what happened to this 09 car. Going into turn 1 now. Oh, he disappeared. Maybe a little bit of issues there. Yes, sir, it was. A little bit of connection issues for Steven Downton. Not playing to his favor at all.
Yeah, he mentioned he was having some of those issues last night in the Talladega race, creeping back up on him here in the National Tour. See if he can recover with that really fast 09 car. As we got a battle for second, these guys continue to just run right on top of each other here as the 39 is drawing real close to the bumper of the 02. Does he give him a little bit of that bumper business and try to get this move made on Collier as they continue to battle here down off the front stretch?
Brad Haldane looking to the inside of the 02, trying to go side-by-side racing coming off of turn 2. Not going to happen. The 02 is going to have that momentum coming down the back straightaway versus the 39. The 39 does decide to go high into turns 3 and 4. Coming off the exit now, the 39 losing just a little bit of ground while trying to pass the 02.
Yeah, as the 02 is doing a phenomenal job holding his line, not making any mistakes as he's a little sideways there in the middle of 1 and 2. He's going to hang on to it. That's what Showtime likes. He likes his car to be a little free so he can really work it over. And now Haldane is going to run a little bit lower than Collier. He's going to try and draw a little closer. Maybe he's found something here, though. He's really working around the track, trying to find a little bit of speed that maybe he has over that 02 car of Collier.
The 39 continues his chase to get into P2 and make it an Imperial 1-2 at the moment, but Rob Collier doing a fantastic job keeping that number 39 behind him. Right now, Tim Trowbridge, last time by, pulled a 22.7. So did Collier. Brad Haldane, fastest car on track at the moment with a 22.6. That 39 is coming alive.
Yeah, these guys are losing a little bit of time to Trowbridge, but they are pulling away from your 4th place driver, Zach Bates. So it is a battle between these two for the 2nd position right now. Haldane continues to hound Collier. Collier is calm, cool, and collected behind the wheel, not making any mistakes, not really giving Brad Haldane an option to go to the outside or the inside. These guys are just putting together a display of driver talent running right here nose to tail.
Jay, let's go on board with this 39 with our Dega Boys cam and see what he sees for a few laps here. Going into turn 1 now, you can see they run almost identical lanes, going through the corner. Maybe a little bit of a loose situation by the 02 through 1 and 2, but now going into turn 3, Brad Haldane is very steadily on the rear bumper of that 02, grabbing a little bit of loose situation, a little bit of oversteer off of turn 4. Doesn't matter, though. He is still all over the rear bumper of that 02, coming off of turn 2 now.
Yeah, these cars are so evenly matched that when he goes into the corner, he loses a little bit on entry, just a touch, but he's able to rotate the center just good enough and plant the throttle, and he's right there on the bumper of Collier on exit. There's not really one guy that's got an advantage at one end of the car or one end of the track over the other. Just a good battle with two evenly matched cars at the moment in this race. How much tire do they have left? Can they save enough to challenge and Trowbridge later on in this race?
Right now, pretty identical lap times. First, second, and third are running. Zach Bates pulling a 22.9. Look at Matt Yost, pulled a 22.7 last time by. Fastest car on track. You now see the updated times on the top left. Tim Trowbridge pulling a 22.5. Let's see what he does this time by two. He already crossed start finish line, almost identical lap time. Same thing with second and third. Zach Bates a 22.9, losing almost 2/10 a lap there. Matt Yost will be tracking down Zach Bates in time. He is consistently faster than that P4 position. we'll keep our eye on that as we continue to monitor this battle right here for P2.
Yeah, as they're still running nose to tail, Collier is now lost another 0.4 of a second off of Trowbridge. Not sure if he's holding Haldane up or not. They're so evenly matched. It would be interesting to see if Brad Haldane was able to get by the 0-2, if he was able to make any end rows on that lead that Trowbridge has built up, as he is right there on his bumper. I wonder, is he thinking he might have to use a little bit of that bumper to get by this 0-2, because he is doing a fantastic job of just running his race.
The question is, Jay, do you do it right now or do you wait till the end?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, if he thinks he has a faster car, you might want to do it early and start tracking down your leader before you run out of time later in this race and that gap continues to build. But then again, it looks like Collier's car is just running a little better as well at the moment. One lap, Haldane will be a little quicker, then Collier will be a little quicker. It's a little bit of cat and mouse game here for P2.
Still 39 and the 0-2 battling it out for P2. Zach Bates back here in P4, just pretty much running by himself right now with a 22.9. Last time by Matt Yost, though, pulled a 22.8. He's slowly making his way up to Zach, as Tim Henderson did make his way around Sean Harrell here, and on his way to try and track down Matt Yost. He's going to need a little bit more speed out of that 20 car. We'll see this time by what they pulled last lap. And it's two tenths slower by Tim Henderson here, so maybe he's saving a little bit of tire for the end here. Don't really know just yet. Tim Trowbridge coming into lap traffic.
Yeah, I was noticing up on the top right with the track map. I figured this was going to happen here soon. Stephen Doughton is a fast car, though. This is going to be a very difficult overtake for Trowbridge. Hasn't been in lap traffic all night. Hasn't had to really race anybody. Let's see if he can make this inside line work. Let's see what pace the 74 car has as he's to the inside of Stephen Doughton into turn 1.
And off of turn 2 now. The 74 does clear the 09. And it looks like he's going to hold on to that. Now going into turn 3, he's got him cleared. It's Rob Collier, though. Oh, we got a side-by-side battle for P2 at the moment. Brad Haldane on the inside of the 0-2. He's going to try to make something happen. Off the exit of 4, he does get a little bit of side-by-side business coming across the start-finish line. Doesn't look like it's enough, but Brad Haldane coming back to the inside again. The 0-2 slowing down a lot, even with the preferred lane. Brad Haldane feels like he's got something on the inside going into turn 3.
Oh, Brad Haldane sent it in on the bottom, got a little sideways. Can he get the run off this corner? We are door to door. No, Collier's going to clear him and hold on to that P2 position. Haldane's going to take it back to the outside and continue to build this momentum to take it back to the inside. Here he comes off of turn 2. Can he make it happen? Collier gets sideways. We're door to door, headed for turn 3.
Through 3 and into 4 now. Brad Haldane still side by side with Rob Collier. They are still battling it out now, going across the start-finish line. Brad is making up ground on the 0-2 going down the straightaways as well. The 39 is inching ahead, coming off of turn 4. He's not going to have the room to clear him, though. And going into turn 3, side-by-side action still continuing as the 39 pushes that car very hard to try and get ahead of the 0-2. He's going to do it off of turn 4, but only for a split second. The 0-2's coming back on the outside.
Oh, Haldane sent it in. Is he going to clear him here off of the corner? He is going to clear him. Move Haldane up to P2. What a move by Brad Haldane to get by Rob Collier.
An absolute amazing move that he did there. We see how dominant that outside line is. The 39 put the battle to the 0-2, and he gets it done. A 5-second gap now. Brad Haldane is staring down to get back up to Tim Trowbridge. Let's see what he can do in these coming laps to see how fast that 39 car truly is.
Yeah, this was the big question, right? If he got past Rob, would he be able to cut that gap down to Trowbridge? He thought he was a little faster. It looked like he may have been a little faster. And now he's got his opportunity. He's got to get by this lap car of Stephen Doughton here quick. Stephen's going to leave him the inside line, not really race him too hard. He's going to go down and give Collier the same opportunity as well as Brad Haldane. And they both clear Stephen Doughton. Now Brad Haldane is pulling away from Rob Collier. Can he cut this lead down to Trowbridge?
Crossing the start finish line, a 22.7 by Brad and a 23 flat by Rob. So Brad really putting that gap to the 02 car, but not exactly to the 74. The 74 now a whole corner ahead of the 39, coming off of turn 4 now in the exit and crossing the start finish line now. We'll see what the 39 can do with his quest to get back up to Tim Trowbridge.
Yes, he is continuing to leg Collier here, so he is putting together lap times just a little slower than your leader Trowbridge. But how much tire did he use and abuse to get by Collier? He was side by side with him, racing extremely hard for many laps. Does he have enough tires to charge down Trowbridge late in this race, as he is still running about a tenth of a second slower than your race leader?
A 22.6 by Brad Haldane and a 22.5 by Tim Trowbridge. Rob Collier pushing out a 22.8 at the moment. Brad Haldane increasing that gap ever more to himself, or to the 02 car, and continuing on his run to the front. 22.7 by Brad Haldane and a 22.5 by Tim Trowbridge. Tim Trowbridge has this track down.
Yeah, he's flying. He just went by George Oakes, who is your P9 driver. He is back a lap down now. Now he's trying to run down Dubronsky, who's running P8. He's kind of doing what Collier did last week at Myrtle Beach, kind of just driving through the field and putting down a blistering time.
Tim Trowbridge staring down the face of another lap car. Is he going to be able to... He run a little bit of a lower line there through 3 and 4, maybe trying something else to try to get back, or try to get around this 23, and he does, taking that bottom lane real close there. Almost contact made between the 74 and the 23, but the 74 does complete the pass, and he is, at the moment, scot-free. He's got some clean air for that 74 car, ready to put down some fast lap times.
Yes, currently your top 3 are the only ones in the sub 23 second mark right now, all running in the 22s. Zach Bates and Matt Yost both running right there in the 23s, as well as Tim Henderson. So the pace has fallen off a little bit, but not a ton. That goes to show a lot that these guys are really conservative with their tires and kind of just running their pace, carrying that momentum through the corners. And it looks like Matt Yost has got Zach Bates in reaching distance. He's going to try and close that gap down for that P4 position. It's right in front of him.
Let's go on board with the 70 car while he tries to track down the 19. See if these guys are running a little bit different lap or a little bit different lane. So you can see Matt Yost half a car length lower than the 19 going through 1 and 2. Coming down the back straightaway now. See what kind of lines they run through 3 and 4. Almost identical.
Yeah, it looks like his car's handling pretty decently. He's not fighting the wheel too hard. He's able to run right there in that preferred line. He sees that car in front of him, and he can tell that he's just a little better on corner entry, as you see there. He's going to carry that momentum through the center. He's closing this gap on Zach Bates. He's going to get there as he's heading into turn 3.
Matt Yost putting down some flyers right now, a 23 flat versus the 19. The 19 did grab a little bit of wall there. They're side by side across the line. And going into turn 1 now, Matt Yost looking to take over that P4 position as they're still side by side coming off of turn 2 now. Matt Yost in the 70. Zach Bates in the 19, duking it out going into turn 3. And it looks like Matt Yost takes that position.
Matt Yost pulled one great slider to get in front of Zach Bates, moving himself up to P4. We knew this guy had the long run pace. He showed it at Myrtle Beach 2 weeks ago. He had that speed. If he had more time, he would have been a contender in that race. And here he is coming alive a little earlier tonight. We're not even halfway through, and here this 70 car is showing some great strength.
Tim Trowbridge now going to look at lapping the P7 right now of Sean Harrell. He's got a little bit more left to go to get back to, or to get to his rear bumper. Nonetheless, a 22.8 that was just pulled by Tim Trowbridge. Fastest car on track at the moment.
Just blistering pace. He is just a rocket ship underneath that number 74 car. He is flying around this track. Still running 22.8s, just a little slower than when they started this race. The pace hasn't fallen off that much for this 74 car, and we're closing in on the halfway point. still flying, trying to go lap your 7th place runner, which is Sean Harrell, as we see George Oakes on pit lane.
Maybe a little bit of strategy playing out right here. Or maybe he forgot to put enough fuel in. Here's Tim Trowbridge now with Sean Harrell right in front of him. 74 is going to dive it deep into turn 1, and he's going to complete that pass by the apex of 1 and 2. Off the exit of 2 now, the 74 puts P7 one lap down.
Yeah, and he can see P6 and P5 right in front of him. That's Zach Bates getting challenged by Tim Henderson now. They're side by side. Tim Henderson got a little sideways off the corner. He's going to clear him easily here into turn 1. And look how fast Trowbridge is. He is right there on the rear bumper of Zach Bates. Zach Bates might have grabbed some wall there off of 2. Oh my goodness, he saves it. What a move as Trowbridge goes by him.
Trowbridge lapping P6 now. He's got P5 in his sights. Tim Trowbridge pulled a 22.8 last time by Tim Henderson, a 23.4. Looks like Tim Henderson is protecting that top line. It's not going to matter, though. Tim Henderson making a little bit of wall contact. They're side by side. Going into turn 3, and it looks like Tim's going to put the slider on the 20, and he is going to take over that position. P5 has now been lapped.
Wow, what a pace. And now Matt Yost is about 7 seconds up in front of your race leader, maybe 5 seconds at the pace he's running. So we'll see if he gets to Matt Yost or if Matt Yost can close in on his teammate Rob Collier. He's about 9 seconds behind Rob Collier. Collier's about 3 seconds behind Haldane. Haldane is almost 7 seconds behind your race leader, Trowbridge, as we are closing in on the halfway point this coming up lap.
Tim Trowbridge doing a great job to hold on to that lead right now. Brad Haldane is your P2 runner at this moment. Rob Collier, as you can see right there, he is your P3 runner, 10 seconds back from the leader. And here is Matt Yost in the P4 position. He is 18.7 seconds back from the leader.
Yes, he just goes by Steven Doughton there. He's going to try and continue to run his line, run his race. His car just seems to get faster and faster as the run goes on. His car is coming alive at the moment as now Steven Doughton's going to take it back to the inside. He's going to race him hard here for this non-position, but for relative track position. And look at this. He's going to take it to the inside. Steven Doughton's found some here on the bottom. He's going to go right back by Matt Yost.
Steven Doughton trying to hold on to the laps that he is down. He doesn't want to increase that anymore. As you can see, Tim Trowbridge is coming up to the rear of Matt Yost. Here he is now going into turn 1. Matt Yost at this time is exiting turn 2.
Yes, Trowbridge is still running 22.6 that last lap. He's going faster than he was earlier. This guy is incredible. The driver talent, the crew, the setup job this team did on this rocket ship tonight. They are just blistering fast, putting together like a race record of pace right now.
Absolutely, a lot of time goes into these setups week in and week out. These guys are always tweaking, trying to find the best possible outcome for the setup. And Tim Trowbridge nailed it right on the head this week here for Lucas Oil Raceway. Brad Haldane still holding on to P2 at the moment. Rob Collier P3, Matt Yost. As you can see, there's Tim Trowbridge. They're on the back straightaway now.
Yes, Trowbridge is just digging. We should go on board with Tim Trowbridge and see what he's doing behind the wheel compared to what we saw those other guys. It looked like their cars were handling good, and Tim Trowbridge is faster than those cars. Yeah, he is just
a 22.4. He just pulled the best lap of the race.
And we're over halfway through this race on this set of tires. This guy is just flying right now. Look at him, not fighting the wheel, just letting the front end do its thing. Gets a great drive off the corner, gets a great run into the corner, carries the momentum all the way through. This is incredible. Look at this.
Another 22.4 for Tim Trowbridge as he's coming down the back straightaway. He is getting up to the rear bumper of the 70. He shoves it in deep there. He's side by side with the 70 car. Matt Yost trying to put P4 one lap down. coming off the exit of turn 4, side by side, still going into turn 1. Tim shoves it in real deep there, and he does clear the 74. The moment coming down the back straightaway, though, might be a little bit of a different story. But coming down it now, Matt Yost has nothing for him. The 74 puts P4 one lap down.
Yeah, and he is just flying. Matt Yost tried to kind of challenge back on the inside, just wasn't able to carry that speed through the center, a lane down from the preferred line. As now he sees Steven Doughton in front of him. He's been running pretty quick lap times. Can he get by him? This might not be an easy pass here for Trowbridge. He's going to have to find something here to get by this 09 car. As I say that, he just takes it right to the bottom, carries a ton of speed through that corner. We're side by side here down the front.
Side by side, Tim Trowbridge, Steven Doughton. Tim does it in deep into turn 1. He does get that position now as Steven Doughton goes one more lap down. That puts him at 4 laps down at the moment. And Tim Trowbridge continuing his dominant run tonight. P3 is 13 seconds behind him.
Yeah, look at the lap times. Brad Haldane actually ran a quicker lap that last time by than Tim Trowbridge. That is an impressive lap time. It's crazy to me that the pace has actually quickened as these tires are wearing. And maybe the little bit of fuel drop-off is coming to effect with the handling of these race cars.
Absolutely, Jay. And maybe these tires are just extremely hard. Tim pulling another 22.5 on fire at the moment. Let's see what Brad does here as he crosses the start-finish line. He pulls a 22.607. Still very, very fast. 74 lap old tires here, Jay, and these guys are still pulling lap times fast. Well, they're faster than the start of the race.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. And that's why I'm thinking it's got to be the fuel drop-off on these cars, because now they're a little lighter and they're just flying around this track. I mean, unless they saved enough tires early on, as we see Tim Henderson hit the pit lane now. Wow, this is interesting. Maybe he also didn't get enough fuel in that car. We know he's had trouble with that in the past.
He sure does have trouble with that. Tim Trowbridge going through turn 1 and 2. Brad Haldane crossing start-finish line. Rob Collier coming off of turn 4 as we speak. A huge gap between these drivers. Rob Collier going into turn 1 while Tim is coming off of turn 4 now. What an impressive run by this 74 car.
Yeah, this is crazy. As Brad Haldane, as the last 2 laps ran a little faster than Trowbridge. That time they pretty much matched. So, I don't know. He goes faster.
That 39 car is coming to life. A 22.595. Insane what these guys are
doing. Can he do it? Can he put together a couple real fast laps here in a row, faster than your leader, and actually run him down? He's going to have about 40-something laps here to go. Does he have enough time? Is there enough left in that car to get it done?
Brad Haldane still pushing real hard to try and get that 39 back to the front there. Tim Trowbridge, though, just putting on an absolute clinic at the moment. I think this is a clinic masterpiece that Tim has put together so far. Rob Collier coming across the start-finish line now. Tim Trowbridge coming out of turn 4 at the moment. This is just crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is not anything we've seen in the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues before. Rob Collier did it 2 weeks ago, and we thought that was an oddity. Tim Trowbridge comes out here and does the exact same thing. He's like, I want to try and do that. I'm going to set this car up. I'm going to put together a phenomenal race. I'm just going to run my pace and see what happens, and that's what he's doing. He's lapped all the way up to P4.
Tim Trowbridge coming off of turn 2 now. He's getting real close to the wall. Look, we're 81 laps into this race, and Tim is still taking advantage of the whole track to try and get the most performance out of that car. And he's doing it. He hasn't even hit the wall. He's just so masterful in his inputs at the moment. 74 car doing a great job to try and continue this run that he's already having.
Yeah, as we currently only have 3 cars on the lead lap here to the top 3. Matt Yost is 1 lap down, and the rest of the field is multiple laps down. I mean, this race has been master class by Tim Trowbridge. Continues to just log these laps as now Haldane goes half a second faster that last lap than your leader Trowbridge. Wow.
Brad Haldane putting down some awesome lap times at the moment. Can we be seeing maybe a little bit of fuel saving out of that 74 car? Or maybe it was just a bad lap. Let's see. He crossed our finish line. A 22.9. We might be seeing something here, Jay.
We might be, and maybe Brad was just saving his tires the last 50 laps for this last little stint to the checkered. He is close at under 7 seconds down now. Can he run down your leader?
Tim Trowbridge again across the line. Let's see what kind of a lap time he put down. A 22.7. Let's see what Brad can do. Crossing the start-finish line now. A 22.5. 2/10 quicker. The 39. We might be running into a situation here. Brad Haldane. We got a caution on track.
Whoa, that changes the world here.
Steven down in the pits. It had something to do with that. Let's go look at this yellow flag here. This blows it wide open, Jay. Oh.
Oh, he's having more of those connection issues he mentioned.
Oh. Caution is out for a car stopped out on track. All right. Tim Trowbridge down pit road. Brad Haldane staying out. Rob Collier staying out. Matt Yost is going to get the lucky dog here. We'll get 4 more cars back on track. But Tim Trowbridge, is this the call right here to put tires on?
Oh, man. I think so. There's still a lot of laps left in this race, and he's only going to have 2 cars in front of him. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to pit here, but I don't know. That 39 car was running faster lap times at the end of that run on those older tires than he was on new tires. So maybe it is a great call. This is the drama.
Well, what if the 74 didn't take enough fuel and he realized it? Maybe this caution was his big break. Maybe this is what he needed. Brad Haldane, knowing that he's good on fuel. Look, we've got Rob Collier down pit road now. Matt Yost obviously going to come down pit road. He is the lucky dog. But let's see what Rob does here with tires. He does. He takes rights now. And the lefts go on. So Tim Trowbridge and Brad Haldane. Brad's now coming in.
Wow. This is crazy. I guess if you got a set of tires, you might as well use them.
Tim Trowbridge coming back down again. What's the strategy call there?
I'm still trying to rack my brain around this. Maybe, I am not sure, because he took fuel and tires. Is he just coming back to top it off? Maybe that's what the problem was, why he wasn't running as fast a lap times as Brad Haldane. Maybe his car just isn't as fast when it doesn't have as much fuel in it.
Well, Brad took tires, took a little bit of fuel, presumably. Tim Trowbridge coming back down pit lane, probably grabbing a little bit more fuel there. Maybe his car runs a little better, or he thinks runs a little bit better with some more fuel there. Rob Collier, though, leading this field. He will be leading the cars on the restart. Unfortunately, Tim Henderson, Sean Harrell, Zach Bates, George Oakes, 2 laps down. They will get the wave around. And they will go 1 lap down. But you know what they say, Jay? Cautions breed cautions. We will see what happens here. I'm pretty sure lights are out on the pace car. We're going green flag racing once again.
We're going to get the green with 35 laps to go in this race. Everybody's got some new tires, some fuel in these things. 4 cars on the lead lap. We're going to go green flag racing.
The pace car off the racing surface. You've got Rob Collier on the inside. Tim Trowbridge on the outside. Brad Haldane behind them. Matt Yost behind him. coming into the restart zone now. Green flag is in the air. The O2 gets a great jump on the inside. Let's see how this holds up. Going into turn 1 now, Tim Trowbridge is side by side with him off the exit of 2. We got a battle for the lead going down the back straightaway, and Tim edges out in front of the O2 and into turn 3. Tim takes that position, and coming off of turn 4 now, Tim is going to securely take P1 to lead this race once again.
Wow, he's back to the point on this race. That's where he's been comfortable running all night long. Got a great drive through 1 and 2 to retake the lead from Collier, who got a great jump on that restart. Now Brad Haldane, he's going to be chasing these guys down. We know how fast he was at the end of this at the end of that last run before the caution. Can he get to the front of this field? We're running out of laps.
The 39 searching real hard to get up to the rear bumper. Look at that. Brad Haldane pulled a 22.4. Tim Trowbridge at 22.3. These guys are on fire right now. They are pushing everything to the limit. Pedal to the metal, all gas, no brake. The 39 hunting down the O2, coming down the front straightaway.
He's got to get by this 0-2 quick if he's got anything for Tim Trowbridge. He ran a little quicker that time than your race leader. Can he get by Collier? He gets sideways off a 2. He's going to look to the inside of Rob. We're looking at a good battle here for P2. Can Brad Haldane get to the inside and make a challenge in a turn 1? He cannot. He gets tight off a 4.
Last time by, Brad Haldane just pulled the fastest lap time of the race, and Tim Trowbridge goes ahead and takes that back. 22.328 for Tim Trowbridge as the battle for P2 continues to heat up between the 39 and the O2. The 39 is a little bit quicker than the O2. He's just got to find an opportunity to pounce. And it might be right here going into turn 1.
Down to the inside. He didn't get a good enough drive in the corner to pull one of those patented sliders. Collier sideways! Rob Collier! Showtime is around! Caution is out!
Not that big of a deal for the O2 car. We're not going to get anybody else back on the lead lap. Whereas the next person, which is 5th place, Tim Henderson, is 2 laps down. So Rob Collier are going to be holding on to that P4 position. Let's go back and look and see what happened up close here. I'd like to get a little bit of a different view here. Let's see. Coming off of turn 2 here. See that wheel input that he had off of turn 2. Just maybe a little bit of too much pedal to the metal. Let's go look at the onboard with the O2. The Dega Boys cam. Here we go. He saw it, or he felt it slipping, and he just held the brakes down. That was a pretty smart move right there to save your car.
Yeah, that was a great job by Rob Collier there, not to wad that thing up into the wall. Just kind of let it walk itself around and then just lock her down.
Lock her down. Look, we're on lap 98 of 125. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Tim Trowbridge leading this field at the moment. Brad Haldane on the outside of him.
This is going to get interesting. Now, Brad Haldane has shown pace comparable to this 74 car all night long. This is the closest he's been to having a challenge at your leader, Tim Trowbridge. He's going to be in the preferred line on this restart. Can he get the great jump on this restart, clear that 74, and set sail and take the victory here tonight?
Old Timmy T leading this field, putting on a clinic, really. I mean, look at this. Fastest lap time of the race, a 22.33. That is insane here at Lucas Oil. I mean, that's just like if they unretired the SR-71 and put it on a racetrack for a day.
Yeah, he's had just a masterclass race, and now we've got Matt Yost Another guy, this closest he's been to seeing that 74 car in his windshield all night long. Here he is on the inside of the second row with a chance to win this race. We got 4 cars on the lead lap right here, your front 2 rows. Rob Collier's back in the mix. Maybe go make a little bit of an adjustment for this short run. We know how good of short run pace this guy has in every Nexus series. As the lights are out on the pace vehicle here going into turn 1, we are side by side. We're going to get 24 laps to go at the green flag. Are you ready, Tom? I'm so ready for this.
Absolutely. We are going to be going green flag racing this time by Tim Trowbridge leading the field once again. Brad Haldane finally getting a little bit of clean air on the outside there. Let's see what he can do against Tim Trowbridge. This is going to get interesting here between these 2 cars. Arguably, the 2 fastest cars on track right now. This is gonna get good, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get ready as the green flag is out in the air. The 74 gets a pretty good jump over the 39. The 70 car, Matt Yost, not getting a great jump like what he needed. Tim Trowbridge all the way down to the bottom trying to make something happen there to get ahead of Brad Haldane. But Brad Haldane does the crossover. He's on the inside of Tim Trowbridge, but he loses it going down the back straightaway. Going into turn 3 and into turn 4 now. Brad Haldane all over the rear bumper of the 74. We're still side by side, but Brad's going to lose it. Coming across start finish line and into turn 1 now.
Wow, what a great restart by Brad Haldane. Was able to maintain this gap to Trowbridge, challenging him. He has shown more pace on the bottom. That's what it's going to take to beat this 74 car. He has worked that bottom over to pass several guys tonight. Can he make it happen here late? He's about half a car length behind your 74 car. This is wild. Can he get him?
Tim Trowbridge pushing really hard. They're pulling 22.36 and a 22.44. Brad Haldane just a little bit slower last time by, but he's still there to pounce if anything happens. Brad Haldane pushing extremely hard to try to put that 39 into position if anything does. At the moment, though, Tim Trowbridge still leading this race with Brad Haldane behind him, Rob Collier in P3, and Matt Yost in P4.
Wow, Haldane got through the center of that corner really well. He got a great run down the back. Does he take it to the bottom? No, he's going to stay right in the tire tracks of that 74. Showing him his bumper in his mirror. Just feeling it up for Trowbridge. Forcing Trowbridge to maybe make a mistake as we got 20 laps to go here at Lucas Oil Raceway.
20 laps to go, and Brad Haldane is still on the rear bumper of the 74. They're pulling very comparable lap times in the 22.4s. So is Rob Collier. Rob Collier is just a little bit further back, 1 second off from the leader, and pulling 22.4s. He's going to have to pull something a little bit better to try to get back up to the rear bumper of Brad Haldane. Brad Haldane pulling a 22.3. Tim Trowbridge pulling a 22.4. It's heating up.
Brad Haldane has found something. He's down about a half a car length on exit. He goes a little wider on entry, lower on the exit, and he is gaining time on your race leader Trowbridge. He is showing him his nose. Does he use the bumper here? Does he use something to get by his teammate? They're racing teammates real hard here for the win of this race.
Brad Haldane, again, looking for that opportunity to pounce if something happens to Trowbridge. Going into 3 and off of turn 4 right now. 74 still very much so holding on to that P1 position as Brad Haldane is just waiting for that opportunity. 22.40 by Tim Trowbridge, a 22.46 by Brad Haldane, and they're still only 0.2 off of each other coming to complete lap 109.
Yes, Brad Haldane just can't get close enough to give him a little bit of that bumper business. He is just losing a little bit of time. Trowbridge, let's see what the lap times were this time. Still pretty comparable as Brad Haldane is continuing to run this unique line. We really haven't seen this line tonight, and he's making it work, running great lap times. Can he just get that extra tenth that he needs to get by the race leader, Trowbridge?
Maybe he can. We'll see what the lap times are this time by a 22.5 by Tim, a 22.4 by Brad. Brad is hungry for this win. He wants to get around the 74 and lead this race. He's got 15 laps to get himself around the 74. Can he do it? I think he can. We're looking side by side. We're not, though. Brad Haldane pushing very hard to get around the 74.
Yeah, he really opens up his entry. He gets a great drive off the corner. Trowbridge actually went down a little bit off of his line. Maybe he's going to have to adjust. He sees what Haldane's doing behind him, and he's gaining time on him. Can he find something here to maintain this lead? Does Brad use the bumper here? That's his teammate. Does he do it?
Coming into turn 1 now, we're about to see the updated times. Brad Haldane once again pulling a faster lap time than Tim Trowbridge. Lap 112 was just completed. We're on lap 113 right now. Brad Haldane in a turn 3 all over the rear bumper of Tim Trowbridge in the 74. And off the exit of turn 4 now, Brad Haldane still all over the rear bumper of that vehicle in front of him. Let's see what the times are. Brad Haldane just a couple thousandths off.
As he is continuing to stick with this line, Haldane gets a little tight off the corner. He loses a little bit of time there on exit. Off of 2, he's going into 3, off of 4, he's going to get right there. He just can't get close enough to use the bumper if he wanted to. Maybe he can find something. Maybe he's going to just have to pull one of those fantastic sliders on the inside of Trowbridge, as he is still running very good lap times, a little quicker than Trowbridge that time by.
Brad Haldane going into turn 3 now, still, again, all over the rear bumper of that 74, running a little bit of a different line there through 3 and 4. We're going to see what the lap times look like on the top left right there. Brad Haldane again pulling a faster lap time than our leader at the moment. Brad putting down some phenomenal laps, trying to put himself into position to win this race. Going into turn 3 now.
Jacob boys 10 to go, coming to get 9 laps to go here at Lucas Oil, as Haldane's looking to the inside of Trowbridge off of 4, wasn't able to get there. Let's look at the lap times again. He's still a little slower that time than Trowbridge, but he's found something here on the inside. He's to the inside. We're going to go side by side nearly off of turn 2. It was almost there.
Brad Haldane pushing so hard to get side by side with the 74. He might have something for him on the inside. We'll see if the 39 can get back to the rear bumper where he's in position to do it again. Coming off of turn 2 now, Brad Haldane, if you look at the top left, just a little bit slower than the 74, but not that much. These guys are continuing to duke it out through 3 and 4, and Brad Haldane using that little bit of a different line to see if he can make something happen. Not this time by, but maybe next.
Yes, he is right there in striking distance to make one of these last lap slide jobs. Do we see Brad Haldane pull one of these rabbits out of the hat? His bad Brad Haldane continues to run right there on the corner panel of Trowbridge. He's nearly there. As we got 6 laps to go, he's running out of time. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. He draws right there again. Just can't get to the inside of Trowbridge. We got 4 laps to go this time at the line. Trowbridge is actually legging him now. He was almost nearly a 10th quicker that time than his teammate Brad Haldane. I think he's running out of laps. Does he have anything left in that 39 car to make a challenge for this win? Yeah, he's just looking like he's just not got anything left in this 39 car to challenge a 74. As we got 2 laps to go this time at the line. He's going to go real wide into turn 1 and maybe set something up here down the back. White flag is in the air here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Tim Trowbridge versus Bad Brad Haldane. He's got about a car length going off at turn 2. Brad Haldane's got one more opportunity here in 3 and 4. Does he send it in on the bottom? He goes to the outside. He's going to draw real close, but Trowbridge, he's going to maintain the lead. Off of turn 4, Tim Trowbridge will take the win here at Lucas Oil. What a battle. Whoa, my goodness. He looked like he was going to have that race won by a country mile and then had to earn it there at the end against his teammate. Wow, what a race.
I got you guys.
Wow, my mic was off that entire time.
The whole time?
Well, for probably a good amount. I don't know how that happened, but thanks for the call out there, Dallas. So, anyways, I'm back. Rob, what a great P3 run you had tonight. But the big question here is, what did you need to get back to that 39 and 74 car?
A car that was a whole lot less tight in the center.
So you were struggling with an understeer situation. Were you struggling a little bit on the exit of the corners with a little bit of oversteer there?
Yeah, just the good old push in the center, more wheel, you're going to be loose off. So just, it was what it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Nonetheless, still a very fast 0-2 race car that come out here finishing P3 tonight. Why don't you talk a little bit about the first part of the first part of the race, the beginning of the laps, a little bit of battle there with Brad Haldane towards the mid part of the race. And did you feel like you had something for Brad there?
Middle part of the race, I'm basically just switching to conservation mode because it was looking like we're going to run green throughout the entire event. And feels a little close, and more importantly is make sure I still had rubber to make it all the way. So after he got around me, I just backed it down and just started running consistent 8s and 9s.
And then the unexpected caution.
Yeah, SK with his graphical issues going on there.
Yeah,
but, it happens.
It happens. That's right. Well, nonetheless, a great run by you tonight. You know, Jay, that's all I got for Rob here. What do you got for him?
Yeah, Rob, I mean, that was some great insight there on the conservation. I'm sure that was a big factor there in your performance. It looked like you had a chance there at the end, got a little sideways, and then was able to bounce back for P3. Just a phenomenal job tonight, coming out with a win in the first race, then a podium this race. Who do you have to thank for your performance tonight?
Just thank you guys for broadcasting and SK for getting us together and putting on this league.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming out here and giving us some great content, Rob. And we thank you a lot for coming out here and always, you know, pretty much being in our broadcast booth here. I mean, it's almost it's a rare occurrence to not have Rob Collier up here in the broadcast booth post race. So a very good relationship that we have built with Rob in this broadcast booth. But nonetheless, thank you again, and congratulations on your P3 finish tonight, and we hope to see you in the next one.
All right, thanks guys. Have a good one.
That was your P2 finisher for tonight. Let's go ahead and bring down Brad Haldane. Brad, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How's it going, boys?
Wow, what a battle you and Tim had there right at the end of this race. What did you need to get around that 74?
Honestly, probably just give him the bumper, but I wanted to do it. He knew I wanted to do it.
Well,
but when I had the chance, it was about 10 laps left, and it was too early. He could have got back to me and done the exact same thing, so I just kind of let it be, and I made a couple of mistakes in my lines trying to get to him, and he ended up just pulling away from me at the end of there.
Well, now he owes you one, yeah?
I think so.
Well, nonetheless, we saw some great battles on track between you and Rob Collier as well. How was that like, trying to get around a car at a track like Lucas Oil?
It's very difficult to pass here. That middle line was pretty much the best line where you can keep your momentum up. You don't have to slow down as much. You can just kind of roll through the corner and get out of it. But when, the top three are pretty well matched as well as they were tonight, it was hard getting around him, and I kind of had to wait for the right moment. I think his tires started going off, and he started pushing up a little bit, and then I was able to get underneath him and get a good run out of the corner, and that's kind of how I was able to get done.
Absolutely.
Only way to get it done.
Yeah. Well, we didn't just see that with you and Rob. We saw that throughout the whole field, and it was extremely hard to pass. The really the only way to pass is if there was a mistake made on the leader's side. So, nonetheless, you made those passes beautifully, if I say so myself. But look, Jay, that's all I got for Brad here. What do you got for him?
Yeah, Brad, what a great performance. What a great battle you had early with Rob, and then with Tim at the end of that race. Kind of solidified yourself as one of the favorites in this series. Who do you have to thank for your amazing performance tonight?
Oh, it's Printwell Moray Supply Pure Layer, Parabellum E-Race Strategies, Rocky Ridge, BW1 Sports, and this beautiful little Honda Accord motor that's in this thing.
I was going to say, that is an absolutely beautiful car. I love that we could just
Thank
take
you.
any sticker there and just slap it on the front end. I like brand identity, you know what I mean?
It is fun. It's better than, the normal Chevy, Toyota, Ford.
Right, absolutely. Well, look, Brad, thank you for coming on out, giving us some great content here, some great battles on track. We really appreciate it. Thank you,
You're forgetting something.
I am?
I believe that should put either me and Rob tied or me in the lead.
I forgot points. Oh, man. All right, look, we'll post them. All right? We'll post. That's what we should. That's what we'll start doing. We should post points after every broadcast. We'll do that. We'll do that.
There you go.
But nonetheless, congratulations, Brad. We will post those points. Everybody listening and watching can go and look that up after the race. Thanks again, Brad. Congratulations again, Brad, on your P2 finish, and we hope to see you in the next one.
Thank you, sir. Hopefully in P1.
Yes, sir. That was Brad Haldane, your P2 finisher for tonight. And let's bring up your race winner, Tim Trowbridge. Tim, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
What a display you put on tonight. An absolute clinic, really, in my opinion. A great... Just tell me, how long did you work on that setup for?
Do you want the honest answer or the BS answer?
I mean...
Uh,
both?
I spent enough time on it to make it fast. I didn't do a nearly long enough run to see how it would be in traffic, and kind of once the tires started to fall off. Did about probably a 10-15 lap stint, just kind of in practice to try and just feel her out, but I kind of just flew on the seat of my pants just to see how she was.
A master setup builder in the works. Here in the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues, that is Tim Trowbridge. Wow. Hey, also, I want to know what the heck you were thinking with the 39 car behind you in those closing laps, because that had to be intense in the driver's seat.
Not too bad. So we were all kind of just chatting away, and he had about 10 laps to go, and he's like, man, it's too early to use a bumper. And we were kind of just BSing back and forth, and he's like, man, I'm just so strong, just right in the middle. I can roll the middle. And it wasn't 2 laps later. I was like, okay, you rolled the middle so well. Let's work on my middle. And then we started to pull away. And he's like, "What did I tell you? What I could do better?" I was like, you don't call your shot until it's ready.
Well, look, this is how I look at it. Okay, you owe Brad now one race.
Nope. Nope.
Look,
nope,
he didn't
nope,
give you
nope.
the bumper business.
You're forgetting about Stafford last season.
Oh, that's right.
My first
I
race ever.
forgot. All
My,
right, now it's an even keel here.
We're even.
We're even.
We're even.
All right. All right. That works out for me. I feel a lot better about it now. I was sitting here thinking, oh, Tim, you owe Brad. But no more. It is an even
Nope,
keel.
We're even.
All right. Hey, Tim, congratulations on your win tonight. That's all I got for Tim here. Jay, what do you got for him?
Yeah, Tim, congratulations on this win. What a performance. I mean, you take qualifying practice, the warm-up, fast times, you go out and blister the field in the race, then you had to hang on to it late. Who do you have to thank for your amazing performance here tonight?
Well, first off, let me just back up really quick. We were almost perfect. There were 4 laps I missed. I was kind of sad when I looked at the timesheet, but got to thank these Imperial Motorsports boys. Always throwing us good cars out here. Got to thank Brad, being a teammate there, not throwing the bumper too early and then kind of calling a shot too early. Give a shout out to you guys up in the booth, making us look good, whether it's a good show like today or a bad show like any other weekend that could happen. You guys always make us look great. Thank the NSR guys, always putting on a good show. Glad we can come out here and hopefully do a little bit more. And then obviously always got to thank these guys at home that allow me to do this crazy stuff every couple days.
Your fiance?
Yes, of course.
Fiance! Yeah. All right. Hey, Tim, thank you for coming out. Thank you for the kind words. We truly appreciate it. And we hope to see you in the next one.
Yes, look forward to the next one.
All right, Jay. What a race that we witnessed tonight. I mean, really, it was just... it was a clinic that Tim Trowbridge put on. Honestly, a great run by everybody, but that Imperial Motorsports crew finishing out this race 1-2 is just a phenomenal stat.
Yeah, what a race. I mean, Tim Trowbridge, as you would say, Tom, they built a rocket ship under him that Kim Jong-un would be embarrassed of tonight. That 74 car was on rails, unstoppable. And then he got a little bit of a challenge there late by his teammate, Brad. Brad had a chance to give him the bumper. We're even now, they both say. So, just a great race. We saw a caution or two thrown in the middle there. Got a couple late race restarts. Tim just did a masterful job getting good restarts, maximizing the track and maximizing his car, and taking the victory here. Race number 2. What a race we witnessed tonight. And just everything you expect from the Nexus National Tour and the best iRacers in the business, the premier open setup racing league on iRacing tonight here at Lucas Oil Raceway.
Absolutely. Just a phenomenal race. Again, if you guys want to join, contact us. We'll get you all the information that you guys need, all the information you want. You want to be a part of this league. This is an awesome league. Clean drivers, fast drivers, the best drivers in the business. I want to give a shout out here to our supporters of the channel. Dallas Seward, always in the chat, hyping us up, giving us some great perspectives. Hey, he even comes on the podcast and gives us great perspectives there as well. So we appreciate you, Dallas. Thank you for being such a great supporter of our channel. We truly appreciate it. We also appreciate everybody who came out tonight, watched our video, liked, commented, and subscribed. You guys mean the world to us. Thank you so much. I'll just run through them real quick. Dallas, Techno, Richard, thank you guys. Thank you guys very much. We truly appreciate it. It means a ton. Make sure you guys tune into our channel for any other day of the week. We got videos pumping out all the time. We got a podcast as well on Tuesday. Make sure you guys check it out. That is headed over here by Jay. Jay does a phenomenal job with those. Does a great job editing videos as well. We really appreciate that. Jay, thank you very much. And make sure you guys just keep tuned. Our next broadcast will be on Monday. Actually, don't we have a watch party this weekend?
Next weekend.
Next weekend. Sorry.
We'll be here for watch party.
Hey, that's still a good point to bring up. Why don't you talk about that for a second?
Yeah, so we have a monthly watch party. We come on here, watch the race live, show our mugs and kind of talk while the race is going on, give you kind of our live perspective, just as if you were sitting on the chair with us in your own living room, watching the race with us, watching the race with the boys here at Dega Boys. Dallas has been on a few of those. He's a great Great person to bring in on those watch parties. Brings a great perspective to it. And this month, we are going to be showing off the IMSA season finale, Petit Le Mans. Great championship battle involved there. Can't wait to watch it. We'll be live here on YouTube October 14th, so make sure you guys tune in for that.
Absolutely. Lots of cool and exciting stuff coming up. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We appreciate everybody who came out again. Thank you so much. It means so much to us. This is Dega Boys coming to you straight from Lucas Oil Raceway. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.